Okay, so we're back. It's coming up to 12 o'clock soon. I'll just show you one more little bit on the Nero editor. Clock soon. I'll just show you one more little bit on the Nero editor. Clock. So this is what we were looking at earlier. Come into focus. Really isn't. Holding on to our love forever, darling. This is our commitment. I'm going to love you forever. Okay. Start grabbing these.
Squeeze the hand of everybody. Alright, slowly down now. And this meeting is for everybody incredible being, light being, turns around towards you and just bend over and put your foreheads together. Connect your foreheads together. Lift the moment a little bit more. And then, like in an elevator, the beginning of the rewiring. And you can we also just say that it takes about 10 weeks per wound for them to very gently and quietly reposition all of the unconscious, to repattern the matrices down there in that wound patch. I just quietly want to say it's I've got partnerships. The creative beings are not my only spirit partnerships in the world of spirit. I deal with hundreds of different spirit partners in various different roles, different levels of the world of spirit, for different reasons, at different moments, for different needs. But the creative beings, their capability, it's like a punch, it's like a force of just shift and change. And they do download
just
into
go
your
for what you like.
personal auric light waves remembrance.
You go for what you recognise. That's all
to
coming
you.
from the critical faculty. So we've got to
shows up is your
disengage the critical
as you're saying, Lorraine,
faculty.
so much more in that stillness, in that
See, I wouldn't
sense
really
of
grab
who you
that
are
one.
beyond this physical dimension. So you're
This is
sitting
a
in
demonstration of just
your own capability, in your own self-realization of yourself as soul. And I quickly want to say that is unconscious confidence. It's not necessarily even something that you're doing deliberately or consciously. It's more and more they just pull you back and pull you back and pull you back. It's slightly controversial to be talking about spirit mentors doing the wiring for you, but in this case, this is how they work. Again, for 30 years, I've watched spirit technicians rewire in auras. 30 years every day. My auras, other people's auras, and how instantaneously we change. How instantaneously our consciousness changes. Our awareness changes instantly when they rewire us. So it's not a small thing when I talk about them rewiring. Radical change happens to your perception. Radical change happens to your capacity to love. Self-love and to love others. Radical change.
The news in the zoos.
Your sense
in the news.
Radical change happens to your sense of
he's
your
licking his
mission,
paw.
but not only that, your spiritual mission, your soul mission, but not only that, your decision
Don't lick it.
to
Okay, don't lick it.
step forward
Don't lick
in
it, Sally.
safety,
Don't.
because you now have partners that provide safety.
Frozen something tasty. It's not just nice. Yeah. Do you want to do that
If
for
this
Charlie?
was a discussion about shadow, and
You could
we
make
started
some
to talk
special.
about the higher echelons of shadow, and
Anyway,
the
let's stop this
capability of
video
shadow,
because here is
it's a
the
really, really
original
tough subject.
idea of mother
And I just want to say
child.
that these spirit guides, I'm a little bit unusual. They've spent 30 years teaching me about shadow and showing me what
The
shadow
best.
is. But the only reason
The
I could
best
do that,
version I
or
had,
the
so
only
that
reason I
was
can
the
talk
version.
about the
That's
details
on our
of shadow,
fridge.
is because I'm in safety.
Yeah.
And I am held, right, by
But you see,
incredible levels of authority of light. You guys really hearing that? Incredible authority levels of light that oversee shadow. They don't get pushed around by shadow. If shadow shows up in a really big way, which I deal with nearly daily in terms of the work that I do on really high universal scales with them, in partnership with them, and shadow does show up in really, really high echelons of light. It's the feeling that I get when these creator beings and they show up in
Let's turn down my mic. Remember, I hear the sound much better.
in their echelons above shadow, and then just transmute it. At such high levels of authority of shadow, they just transmute it. And the feeling I get is, wow, thank God these guys are connected to me.
Do we have to ask for that shadow? Do we have to ask for them to help us transmute the shadow?
Yes.
Yes, always. Number
Partnership.
one.
Partnership means yes. They rely, it's a quantum situation, they rely on our perception. Right? So if we're perceiving a need, which includes shadow in the mix, so it's our perception and they need it. We're the periscope.
And it's still a bit
In-
bumpy, isn't it?
In our experience.
If I was then going to...
So that's one of the reasons they connected with me in the very first place, to start creating a partnership, and they taught me even how to partner with
I'm
them,
going to start
and
drawing
taught
from...
me that they needed me in that quantum situation. And I'm handing that hot potato over to you guys, everyone.
Yes,
So you two, we're going to be meeting a creator being today. We're going to be going up and we're going to be standing in front of one of them, and I do want to say that is a moment, of connection, and you can use this replay to find that being again and begin a partnership, whether it's them taking you on as a project for awakening, of accelerated awakening, fast awakening. This lifetime's really short. Or if you want to support shadow, they're telling me to say it's best not to do it. It's best not to do huge, vast ranges of shadow without spending at least a year with them, just working with them and showing up a lot and getting them to change you and rewire you and strengthen you. Okay.
there's a question, a really good question coming in from Destiny. Can we work with past life
fire.
issues?
Yeah,
Look, in London.
Absolutely.
right.
Because,
Been a lot of fires today.
yeah, and
So
the cost, those people has to be fed by police, the water. They're not allowed to move. Look, those people.
Oh, right. Those guards
Yeah.
are fucking palace.
And, look, in London had a lot of
That's
fire.
amazing, that photo.
Yeah, look,
Wow.
it's all fire in London. And in Spain, there's people, there's whole Europe. It's really...
Oh, dear, darling. Yeah. Well, it will be cooler tomorrow. Yeah.
300 years.
300
move into
years.
that patch, so to speak, in your soul field, in your matrix. Read it like a book. Read who owns any soul wounds there, meaning that what levels of shadow are owning
Cut.
and holding that patch in place, or even created the shock in that moment, because there's ownership there in shadow. And then they renegotiate that, and quite often they will track up to the higher layers of shadow.
Cut in.
You know, going up to the hierarchy of
Into
the ownership of that moment in your soul, in your past life. So just want to say, and again, that is such a great question, and it really also points to something they really wanted to talk about today, which was past lives and soul wounds, because this level of light changes a lot of that debris in our soul history very, very quickly. And they're very used to, they're now very used to dealing with humans because they hadn't actually connected with humans that much before. So they're now really used to jumping into human auric fields, all the teams that are connected in that lineage to the creator beings. And quite quickly, guys, and this is really important for all of you to hear, quite quickly, when they use the word change, rewire, transmute, do all of the work that's needed there, reinstate whole new layers of software in there, in terms of memory software, so that you sit much more in that sort of weak spot, you know, of a soul wound, so that you sit much more in solid, self-empowered there, and the memory has changed into an empowered memory. They do a lot of that very, very, very quickly, super accelerated. It took me like, anyway, I noticed the acceleration as soon as I started to work with these guys in my energy work with clients, the speed with which they start making changes. So I'm just letting you know, everyone, that soul wounds, old past lives, this is one of their very first focuses with you when you jump in to a one-on-one decision to go fast in your awakening. They will start traveling into your past lives, and usually there's about 7 really big ones, 5 or 7 really, really big ones. Big ones where you flick the switch on something and, like, you know, whole civilizations collapsed or something. You know, something really huge things. Like there's about 5 of them, like really big
Mistakes.
5 or 7
right?
of them.
Yeah, we made mistakes. Oops.
Mistakes. Oops. And so they really want to go for those first, because they're the ones that are leaking sort of. When I say shadow, I mean fear into your present time. But everyone understand, and this is an advanced discussion. I do want to say, understand that fear is not just a generic fear. Fear is connected to vast communities of shadow, of darkness, that are controlling that fear in you. You see, so it's you're on a fishing line, and someone is trying to, you know, drive you, steer you away from your remembering, steer you into disempowerment. You know, put the brakes on your visions. Yeah, and so these, and that's why these 5 to 7 really, really big wounds are a huge focus for the spirit, for these creative beings when they start working. You know, right at the beginning when you start working with them, it's slowly. They do it gently. They do it impeccably, carefully, and impeccably, not to destabilize your conscious self or your reality holographic movie screen. And they just do it, but they're telling me to say they're incredibly experienced now because they've been working with human consciousness now for years. So they know how to pull a motherboard out of the computer, whole big sort of parts of you, transmute it, and put a really big new motherboard in. They know how to do it. And you stay stable on the surface. Because we all know that in therapy, if you're starting to move into some really deep unconscious stuff, wow, the clouds, the dust comes up, you know, and you have to handle it like for months sometimes. like just kind of like, just handle it. So all of that is looked at very, very carefully, circumstances are looked at, and they start metering out and assessing how they're going to do a major surgery in your soul in a way that doesn't disrupt your life. So just, but at the same time, you guys hearing it, how they're just doing it really precisely, know what they're doing, they've got the authority to shut down any influence from shadow that's coming in from past incarnations, and all of it's done in a very accelerated way, in a very confident, very methodical way. I talk a little, I'm a little unusual because I lean on my spirit technician teams a lot on a daily basis. I lean on them, I use them, I partner with them, I chat with them, I get the feedback from them, I ask them questions. Because I'm walking in a holographic field, and I'm walking in a suit of electromagnetics, of energy, in the spirit world. The spirit world can see me, I can't see the spirit world. I mean, I can if I close my eyes and focus in and start using my spirit technicians to even help me see who's there. But I'm just saying that we are quite incompetent with working with the energetic influences in our life. And that's why I lean on my spirit tutors and my mentors just like easily and quickly and a lot in order for me to stay in really high light and super empowered. Oh my God, so much to say.
Yes.
That past life thing, that soul wound thing is just so important. Everyone, just strengthen. The point is to become your higher self, as you guys know, to become your higher self, humming in high light and radiating that light out into these denser fields and supporting as many other light workers as possible to awaken.
Feel that. That feels great. And I know so many resonate with that. And so let's meet a creator being. And as we do this, I know that it could be customized for each individual who's watching or listening, so that we could just sit and be in it and see what comes up for us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. It's
this meditation will be helping you to activate and open your heart energy center. It will help to clear blocks in your heart energy field and will help to soothe and nourish you as you move through the Venus retrograde energies. It can really be done at any time that you are looking for heart support, heart healing, and heart opening. Find a nice comfortable position, close your eyes, and gently just begin to soften and relax.
Sessions with these teams, there are thousands of these high light beings arrive and look at you, each one of you, so uniquely. They look at the patterns of your aura, they look at your thought patterns, and whether you're worrying, whether you're anxious, whether you're annoyed at yourself, or life circumstances, whether you're feeling sort of hopeless. I was talking to these creative beings just very quickly before this session, and they really, one big thing they wanted to do to support everybody here today or on the replay is to give you hope. It's tough on planet Earth at the moment. It's tough. Our lives can be very tough at the moment for various reasons, so many reasons. It can be depressing just looking at humanity at the moment. 2 years of very, very tough, managing the pandemic and financial situations and personal relationships and trying to just maintain stability and equanimity through it all. But not only that, even though that is just so tough, also you have incarnated for a reason at this time. Each one of you as a soul, you have incarnated for an incredibly powerful reason, and that is to awaken to your full remembrance as a soul and speak up about it and communicate it.
Share it. That's the hard part, speaking up about it, because many of us remember getting into trouble for speaking up about it.
Exactly. And be fearless about it. You guys hearing that? The fear meter. It's like, where is on the speedometer, right? Where's the fear meter inside of us of showing up of who we are as a light being? We are a light being. We're not a human being. We're a human being temporarily, but the permanent part of us is this light being. So to show up as that light being, as that fully empowered, conscious, capable, and radiant light being, and to show up as that, and to speak up about that. Yeah, that is the journey, and that's the mission. So where are we at with that? From here to there, wherever it is. And my spirit guides, these creative beings today, one of their big things they wanted to accomplish maybe is to offer hope, actually, to you who's watching this, that there is acceleration to that point. How I am today, and what I say I am and what I say I do, maybe 30 years or 40 years ago, I wasn't the same person, but stepping into those shoes is a wiring job. So these beings just wired me and got rid of the fear. They wired it out of me. They changed it in my wiring, so that there's a sense of, you're sitting comfortably in your shoes and you don't really care what anybody thinks. It's none of their business. The light's more powerful than they are, and their thoughts and their doubts on you, or even your own thoughts and doubts on you. The light itself is more powerful. And what this whole thing's about, what our whole life is about, is that light arriving into the force fields of Mother Earth and awakening everyone, changing the base of the light matrix of every human on the planet, and also Mother Earth herself. So that light is what your mission's about, is what my mission's about. And it's more important than anything.
Yeah, we agree. Yeah, we agree. Okay.
Okay, let's go, guys. Closing the eyes, let's take a deep breath. Everyone, thank you for being here. My creative beings just want to say a big warm welcome and feel hugged. Okay, so we've been chatting a little while. Their energy's already seeped into your auric field. So we're going to move quite quickly. So I would like you to imagine in front of you a big ball of light, a big sphere of light, and imagine and pretend, feel free to pretend, to just step into that ball of light, and then a new different little switch become that ball of light. Feel yourself expanding and merging with that ball of light, becoming it. And as we're just quietly hanging out there as that ball of light, I'd like you to imagine that there is a being of light standing in front of you. This is an escort being, a travel buddy. So I'd like you to reach your hand out and take their hand, holding hands together. And as you're holding hands, a huge column of light forms around you both. And together, like Peter Pan and Wendy, you're starting to lift up the column of light. Starting to fly upwards. Up the column of light. We're going to travel for quite a while to get to the creator being layers. So just imagine it is a bit like an elevator, and it's kind of this wind is sucking you up. This column of light, it's like a sacred wind of light is pulling you upwards. Keep going up, everyone. We're going to travel for a little while. Keep traveling, traveling, traveling. Higher and higher and higher and higher. And let's go faster and faster. And now let's move into hypersonic speed. I think that's the word. Just like zooming. On a Zoom call, zooming. Zooming. Super fast. Keep your attention. Swing your attention onto that we're doing this. Stick to it like glue, that we're keeping our attention on this. Keep going, traveling up higher and higher. Squeeze the hand of your travel buddy. Keep going upwards. All right, slowing down now. And this travel buddy, incredible beings, light being, turns around towards you and just bends over, and you put your foreheads together. Connect your foreheads together. Beautiful moment of acknowledgement and love. And then, like in an elevator, there's a kind of side door, slides open, and you step out. And you are in a big sort of ocean of light. Just standing there, hand in hand with your travel buddy. The energy itself in this layer of light is very subtle. So I just want you just standing there. Nothing to do, just for a moment. So interesting. And suddenly we are noticing that we are in the middle of a very big circle of light beings around us. It's very subtle, and just pretend. Keep your pretend mode on. And an incredible light being starts walking towards you. So we are in a big circle of light beings, but there's one particular light being starts to walk towards you. This is a very powerful creator being. And your escort buddy just steps away to one side. And this is a moment of just feeling this light being in front of you. There's a lot of energy exchange happening between you and them. They're actually reading you right now, understanding the long, long journey your soul has taken. They're reading the history book. Taking a look at you. And this being is actually telling me that they are very, very high, very advanced, very high in authority. Again, nothing to do, just to stay there, to stand there. Allow them to take a nice long look into your aura, into your soul field. And I'm being told and shown actually right in this moment that they are scanning and looking in for those 5 to 7 big soul wounds, those moments in your soul history that were substantial, you know, powerful situations, and could be causing a current leak of shadow into your deep unconscious. This is what they're actually looking at right now. Seeing where they are, what they are, who's connected to them. And I'm being told to say right now that this assessment is so rare for humans to have this assessment from the worlds of spirit. And usually it's very high levels of authority that are even allowed to make this level of assessment, because these substantial major soul wounds are connected to major layers of shadow. So you need very high authority beings to even go in and check it out. That's why we're just quietly standing here. They're asking me to ask everyone here on the call right now, are you interested? Do you want them to start healing and rewiring those soul wounds? And so what they're looking for from you is clarity, decision of a yes or a no. So in your mind, speak to them from your heart, let them know. And according to your response just now, they are now starting to travel into your soul field with their consciousness. They send their consciousness in and start, just zooming around in there, in the corridors of your soul history. And they are actually, and they're telling me to tell you that they're finding and locating wound number 1 that they're deciding to begin working on, of one of these big ones. So they're coming up to the door, it's like going, not really, but going down a corridor with lots of doors, and they've decided, okay, this is the door. They're about to open it. Just letting you know that they really are happy to start. All right, so they're showing me they're opening the door, going in and beginning a real assessment of what happened there. Taking a look, feeling into the entire wound area. All the subtle little light waves and software that's sitting there. Software of memory. I'm just going to go quiet for a tiny moment. Are showing me they're working very fast. And they're telling me to say to all of you that this is not a complete healing of this wound today, but it's the big domino, the big beginning of the rewiring. They're telling me also to say that it takes about 10 weeks per wound for them to very gently and quietly reposition all of the unconscious, to repattern the matrices down there in that wound patch, they do it so kind of gently and quietly and slowly and competently. So it's a very real change at the deepest part of you. They're showing me they're in there looking at the history, looking at who's involved in that moment, the type of fear that's sitting there, the amount of fear that's sitting there. So much. What led to that moment? So as they're doing that, they're asking me to say to you that this is the beginning of an agreement, really, with them to make the changes and for you to start strengthening in those areas, in that deep, deep, deep area of the wound. And they're also letting me know to say, while we're there, that there's nothing for you to do, really. You don't even need to connect or reference back to them about this or inquire about it, because they're just going to quietly do it. Sometimes when they're doing really big work on me, they just ask me to distract myself. It's really interesting. There are other times where they really want me to focus, but there are other times where they want me to distract myself. So funny. So they're just saying on that note, you know, for you guys in the next weeks rolling out, it's not about digging it up. It's not about scratching this wound and kind of trying to get in there yourself or ask about it, or even they're just saying, guys, just get on with your life, and you will notice patterns in the way that you sit inside yourself, the way you think, how you are, relationship changes, fearlessness changes. You'll notice that start happening to you, in you, for you. This is a big gift today, and they're still in there because they've got a big job to do. They're still in there, but they're asking everybody to take a deep breath and to open your eyes and to come back. OMG.
Thank you. That was really interesting. I felt things in my torso. I felt energy shift already. Wow. So this will continue working. We can continue this. We can ask for a continuation as well. Very, yes. Very good. And we don't have to use our mentalness to figure out what those past lives are and who's connected or whatever, but just to feel a wholeness around the light, not to blame or feel shame about, oops. Yeah, okay, wonderful. So happy continuation of this, everyone. And there's another way that you can continue this. Every month, Alicia has her monthly.
Relax. Become aware of your body in this moment. Tune in to how you are feeling. Sink deeper into how you are feeling. Sink deeper into your body.
It's getting very late. We're coming up for 12:30 now. So I'm just going to do a little bit more grabbing stills from this video while we listen to Tanaz's meditation.
Unclenching your jaw.
Unclenching the jaw.
Relaxing your shoulders, bringing them down away from your ears. Just softening the face. Softening your body. allowing yourself to just melt into the floor,
Later on,
melt into this moment.
late work.
Everything else can wait. Honor yourself for just taking this time for you and to connect
Just
with
became a
your
bit
heart
blobby, like that's
energy
a bit
field.
blobby, isn't it?
Now
But
just
if you then
place your hand
take
over
Leonardo's
your heart. It doesn't matter which
advice and you
hand.
work from the center,
Tune in and connect with your heart in this moment.
could make a
Any of the emotions it's carrying,
connection.
the fullness and richness of your heart. Tune into this for a moment with your hand here. This is your source of connection right now. And now, on your next breath, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in and out of the heart, almost like your heart is a mouth or a nose, and that's what you're breathing from. So trying to bring your awareness, your inhale and your exhale, like you are breathing from your heart. You can choose whether you'd like to breathe in and out of the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just do what feels right for you. But you're imagining that you're breathing in and breathing out from the heart. This is more important. This is where your focus needs to be. Inhaling from the heart, exhaling from the heart. Breathing in a beautiful heart breath and exhaling a beautiful heart breath. Breathing in and out from your heart. Don't force it, just relax into it. Trust and relax that you are breathing in from your heart and exhaling from your heart.
So there's a
I want you to repeat this breath, this heart breathing, for the next minute. As you breathe, you will be opening and activating and clearing any blockages from your heart. So just sit with whatever comes up, focus on your breath, and allow whatever needs to come to come. You are safe.
Worried about what the subject is,
in
but
and
it'll
out
get bored,
of that heart
boring
center.
if you don't have any.
I'll mind the
It's
time.
just form.
You
That's the
just
problem with
focus
blobs, is they're
on your
just
breath,
blobs.
coming in and out of that heart center.
But Cliff's idea was that everybody has this innate sense of design as children, but it gets trained out of us, particularly at that age when we start to use mark making, use our hands to make letter forms, and then we lose that innate sense of design because. But it's not actually a question of training yourself. It's just a question of stripping away the intellectualized rigidities. So he used to talk about the planned accident. Use mark making, use our hands to make letter forms, and then we lose that innate sense of design. because but so just for example, because it's really time to go to bed, but this doesn't look like anything, okay? But if we go and have a look at the folder where all these pictures have been saved, which is my pictures folder here, and we scroll down past all the bug balls and the red dots. These are all the images that we've been collecting. We're just going to grab the last one, just to show you. It just looks like grey. Doesn't look like you could use it really for anything. And it isn't that easy to get from a grey image. Let's try this one as well, to increase the contrast. But of course you could just use a light box and just draw over it. Trace, make a tracing of it. Right. While we do this, we'll listen to the rest of this whole meditation. Yes, darling. I know.
Your heart is opening.
We've got to go to bed, yeah? Are you ready? It's 12:30. Yeah.
Your heart is clearing. Every
Clearing your heart. Every exhale is helping you to let go. Let go. Your heart energy field is growing stronger with each breath. Your heart energy is activating. You are releasing all that blocks. All that you've been holding on to is melting away with each breath. Keep breathing. Trust the speed, trust the tempo that you feel is right for you when it comes to your breath. In and out. Gentle, relaxed breathing. And just allowing yourself to take those final breaths, those final heart breaths. And as you finish your next breath, just coming into some stillness now. Just sitting with the heart energy that you have opened, that you have activated. Feel into this, feel into your body. Feel into the current of energy that's flowing from your heart. Relax your jaw and your throat and let the heart energy float up into your head and out the top of your crown. Relax those stomach muscles and let that heart energy float down all the way through the lower half of your body and out to your feet. Let this heart energy fill your body. You are loved. You are safe. You are loved. You are safe. And now just bringing your hand away from your heart, and if you can, reaching up to the sky with your hands, reaching them above your head and bringing them down so they're in line with your shoulders. Your arms are stretched out nice and long, reaching them out as far as you can. They're in line with your shoulders, they're straight, they're reaching out in either direction. And if you can, just rotating your palms so they're facing up to the sky. This is a position of receiving. Your arms are open to receive the many blessings of your heart. And if you can, and if it's comfortable and you don't have any injuries, pointing your heart up to the sky. Your arms are open wide, palms up, and your heart is pointing up to the sky.
That was just a quick demonstration there. Very quick, but you see how just from some grey images, how I've got to something which looks like a composition now. We could rotate it. I like this because it looks like people going through a doorway up at the top there. But we could rotate it counterclockwise. View zoom out. And I think I still prefer it. Zoom to window. And that way too works as for me as a kind of a figure composition. That'll do because it's very late at night. But I hope you've seen a little bit of how I work with the digital processes. And you see I can carry on grabbing these images and I can pull them into the process at any time. And it does go on and on forever. So let's close this. I could save it as untitled project. And close that. And close this. And we'll just finish with the heart meditation.
Stretch that heart up to the sky. Maybe lift your neck if it's comfortable, lift your chin if it's comfortable, and really allow your heart to be exposed to the universe, to yourself, to life.
Your heart is open and full and radiant. Open that heart up to the sky.
Stretch that heart up to the sky.
Breathing in, breathing out, and relaxing your arms down by your side. You can gently open your eyes and just take your arms and cross them over the front of your body like you're giving yourself a nice hug, and just quietly whispering to yourself 10 times, "I love you," and just giving yourself a nice hug as you do this. And when you're done, just very slowly taking your time, come to standing. Just take your time. And then just shake out your body, shake out your legs and your arms and your neck. Just gently shake everything out. And you are done. I hope you've enjoyed your heart energy, heart activation meditation. If you'd like to further this work, I recommend doing a journaling exercise, just doing some free flow writing with whatever came up for you. Maybe you received some heart messages, or maybe as you write, some heart messages will come through. So just stay open to that as you write, as you journal, and as you go